Hello everyone, greetings and salutations. This is DJ Lamont of the Fingersnaps artist Salon. I had the rare opportunity of spending my late afternoon at Mission High School here in San Francisco, in the Mission District of San Francisco, right across the street from Dolores Park. I have passed the school for the last 18 years living in San Francisco. And I've always been wondered and awed by the architecture, the classic and historic architecture of the school itself. But I never had the privilege of entering the building. But today, Monday, December 15th, 2014, at approximately 4 p.m., I had the rare opportunity and was granted the opportunity to enter the halls of Mission High School. And the reason for me being granted and allowed to enter the halls of Mission High School was a forum that was hosted by the Black Student Union of San Francisco, from the aspect of City College and from the aspect of the high schools here in San Francisco. And they basically hosted a symposium and a community gathering to examine, to have a conversation, to have a community conversation, particularly with the targeting of youth and young adults around the whole new concept of Black Lives Matters. That is the newest phenomenon in the United States right now, that Black Lives Matter, based on all of the killings that have occurred in our nation over the last few years of young, unarmed youth in the United States being taken down, being murdered, being shot, being abused by our law enforcement. So the controversy, as you know, if you have been in touch with the information and the information and news related to what has been happening throughout our nation when it comes to young black men and the authorities, that the authorities have been walking away from various situations where they have killed young black men in the name of the law, in the name of protection, in the name of self-protection. So that's what the symposium was about today. So it was maybe 300 to 500 youth and young adults from the various high schools in San Francisco and colleges as well. And we met in the auditorium, and basically the entire forum was hosted by young people. So what I found really intriguing and very exciting is how young people, how this group of individuals, very diverse, that represented the rainbow of humanity, all between the ages of 15 and 25 years of age, who have turned this tragedy, has turned this unexplainable phenomenon of this unexplainable phenomenon over class and who has the right to live and who has the right to die and who has the right to walk away and who has the right to be victimized. But what I found intriguing about this assembly this afternoon was the fact that these young people, this group of individuals, have turned tragedy into a synergy, into a focus for themselves, and a huge responsibility, knowing that as young people, they are either about to enter into the adult world, which means responsibility, or they are already in the midst of the adult world, which means responsibility. And how they're using this tragedy and turn it into an art form, and turn it into a political and social platform and foundation to speak and challenge our system, and challenge the policies that are in place, the laws that are in place, the excuse of who has the right to kill and who has the right to walk away based on our legal and justice system. So the images that are part of this presentation are from the halls of Mission High School. Again, it's a beautiful structure. It's a historic structure. I believe the building itself is about 100 years old. So as you can see, I capture images of just the environment itself, the hallways, the corridors, the entrance and exits, the art pieces, the permanent art pieces, the iconic pieces that are part of this everyday structure. Some of the photographs represent the various classes over the last 100 years, the graduating classes. It was really nice to meander through these hallways and admire all the students that have grown up in this particular building. And just seeing the community spirit of people coming together, wanting to find solutions, wanting to find a synergy of healing and a synergy of exchanging of ideas to make our society better for everyone, not just for one and or the other, but for everyone. So that's what this represents today. That's what this represents. So admire the pictures and see that they represent just a moment in time, but also a moment in the future of where we're going, because these people that were in this room are there for a very specific reason: to be heard, to be acknowledged, to be respected, to be seen, and to voice their concerns, and to voice the world that they want for themselves. Michael Brown Sr. was the guest of honor, and his wife from Ferguson, Missouri, which is a town up until August of this year that most of us have never heard of. I've even driven through the state of Missouri, and I've even been to St. Louis, but I never heard of Ferguson, Missouri up until the last few months. And now I assume most Americans, or at least can identify what Ferguson means to our nation at this point in time. But Michael Brown Sr. was there. Very soft-spoken gentleman. He had ideas to share, but not much. Not much, but he was there to just represent and to show respect and to extend respect to the Bay Area for uprising, for disrupting business as usual, for making our voices heard as we, the people, as citizens of the United States of America, that has the right to assemble and to question and to argue policy. So him and his wife came out to show appreciation for standing up for their loss, their personal loss, but also this national loss that is occurring with black families and black men and just our neighbors. I had the opportunity to speak to Mrs. Brown, the stepmother of the fallen youth, Michael Brown, and she shared with me that she says, I cannot wait to get back home because she said, I have shopping to do. She says, we're having over 20 guests for Christmas and I need to get home and get busy. And I said, well, could you explain that a little bit more? I says, well, who are these guests? And she said, well, these are individuals that live in Ferguson. These are individuals that are my neighbors, folks that I've never met before but live in Ferguson, that were directly or indirectly impacted by the protests and the uprising of the grand jury decision. Individuals that were displaced because their homes were on fire or vandalized or terrorized in some cases. So what they've done, her and her husband, Mr. Brown and Mrs. Brown, what they've done is they decided to show their love and empathy and passion for their neighbors by providing services, by providing food and meals and rides, and hosting community forums where people can come together and take care of each other in the spirit of brother and sisterhood, fellowship. And she said, well, this is the best that we can do, because she said, if we just sit at home, we would just perish within our own minds because of the loss, this great loss that they're experiencing, and also watching America mourn at the same time. Yet, she said, I'm paraphrasing, but yet she said, still question why young people like her son, her stepson, was taken down. So she says it's better that we stay active by helping other people, by showing appreciation and empathy for other people. And she said that's why I cannot wait to get home so I can prepare and serve my community and take care of my own children. And she said that's the best thing that we can really do right now, is to continue to serve, to continue to love and support, and to do whatever they can as a small family that is mourning a great loss that has caused such rippling effects throughout our nation and around the world. So Black lives do matter. And you matter too. That's really what this is all about. This is what this really is all about. Black lives matter. Yes, that is the emphasis. And the reason for that emphasis is because historically, Black lives in America did not matter. And we see that demonstration time and time and time again, even in our current time, with an African American president and African American political figures. So that's just being truthful and just being extremely honest. So once we know that, hopefully we can use that as a springboard to move forward. So these photographs represent the experience that I had today. So I wanted to share that with you with voice, and I want to share it with you through visual. So I thank you for taking the time for me to allow me to share what I experienced today. These are the things that are happening in our community. One of the things that I've always said to myself, and I've said this to many individuals throughout, because of the work that I do, the true heroes, as I always say, the true heroes, those that are really shifting and saving our society, are the unsung heroes, the people without a title, the people without iconic status, the people without celebrity, without riches and fame. I see it all the time, and this is just one more example. So Black lives do matter. I matter. You matter. My name is DJ Lamont, and this is the Fingersnaps